Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of UHS Presents. I'm your host Sarah, and Lori is not coming today because she is not feeling well. I have no creative live for you today. Anyway, we also are joined by, if I can unmute them here, by, of course, Matt Frank and Paul Hanley, creators of Miss Medusa's Monstrous Menagerie, and our good friend Miss Katie Rooston, who is doing lots of fun stuff on Miss Medusa. And by fun, I mean make her go blind.
Yeah.
Seems accurate.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We were just having an off-air conversation, so we should just carry
Nope.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
and all that stuff. So, well, we are counting down to obviously the last few minutes of the Miss Medusa's Monstrous Menagerie Live's Kickstarter event. So that's what we're doing on stream here right now. And in the meantime, if you guys have questions about Medusa or whatever, put them in the comments and I will read them. And if you have any comments, questions, observations, whatever, go ahead and pop that in there. Kyron's here and says, hey, the final countdown. Thanks for joining us.
Yay.
And then I'm going to say it now, but I'm also going to try to remember to say it later. When we're done here, like almost immediately after at 6 o'clock Eastern is going to be 5 Star Fridays, and that's Tony Clapper and Fish Lee, and you should check that out too because it's going to be fun. I don't know what they're doing because I didn't look because I am not what you would call a good planner, but I can look while we're talking, and then I'll tell you at the end of the show. How's that sound? So we were talking about what, like, we were just discussing like what Snake Lady anatomy would be, and was it you, Paul, that suggested that Medusa would have a snarky comment for that?
Yeah, Gina would say, "Do I look like a product of evolution to you?"
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, well, I mean, since snake ladies aren't real, they wouldn't have, human heads or human arms. But I mean, we've gone off into the weeds many times with the various anatomy parts that a snake lady would have, and let's just say it's a good thing this channel isn't monetized yet.
Well, it's just like I was saying before the stream started. It's such a nerd gotcha moment where like people get to flex on the idea of like, a reptile person wouldn't have mammalian milk glands, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. No fun allowed. Because that's how you show how smart you are, is to shit on everybody else having a good time. Look, I just want to crank it to a snake lady every now and then. Get out of my head.
I knew a kid in grade school that picked up my toy of the Cobra Condor jet. He picked it up and looked at it and said, "This isn't aerodynamically correct." I wonder where that kid is now. He was a party.
I think about that kid a lot.
Maybe one of those people that's online somewhere.
And that kid went on to create Cinema Sins.
I just found stigmata on my hand. I have stigmata.
Ooh, what did you do?
I think it's makeup.
Oh.
I hope I didn't do anything. I hope it's just because it's rubbing off. It's just makeup.
Okay.
That was weird. I think because when I'm putting on makeup before the streams, I don't know. Okay, I'm sure out there somewhere there are women, or there are anybody who wears makeup, that they're dedicated and they very diligently and thoroughly clean their brushes after every application, and I am not one of those people. So
Neither am I.
Sometimes I use the brushes to put on dark stuff, and then if I try to take that same brush and not clean it and then try and put on something lighter, I'm just gonna make a big gross mess. So I rub them on my palm or the back of my hand or my wrist or whatever, just to see. I brush along to see if there's any junk on them before I use them. And then like once every 3 months or so, I will get the bug up my butt to wash the things. So I do wash them. I'm sure I'm just an eye infection waiting to happen though.
Well, I mean, I can't say anything about that. You see how old my makeup is, so.
I've used
Well,
mascara.
yeah, I mean, but in your defense, you did throw some of that away now, right? Like, if you have makeup that you had when you were in high school and you're my age, you should throw that makeup away.
It's not high school, it was university, but it's like
Still.
eyeshadow powder stuff. It's not like it's the liquid stuff, but still. Yeah, I probably should throw it.
I've
All
used
right.
mascara and or eyeliner exactly once, and I just remembered like putting it on and thinking, or having it put on for me and thinking, this is hell, and people like do this regularly, and then I'm trying to take it off later in the evening. I was just like, why do people do this? Like, it's so, like, it's just one of those things that makes you, like, as a, like, raised as a white straight dude, you're just like, this sucks.
It does.
Why do people do that?
That's why I don't do it very often.
Yeah.
Look at where we're at right now.
How?
This is, I mean, look at how many backers we have. I knew we were getting up there we have 464 backers for this. That is so cool.
Yeah, there's always a big bump at the end there.
Yeah, I was not expecting the last minute surge that we were having in the past just couple of hours. Like, I keep saying it. We have the coolest fans. We just do. We have the best fans. Indie comics in general has the best fans, I think.
Yeah, it's so tough because I was wanting to, I was trying to share it in a couple of places yesterday, but because of all the Godzilla Day shenanigans, all that shit kept getting swallowed up in people's timelines and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, this is me screaming at a brick wall right now. But as basically once everybody was home from seeing Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, I was like, okay, now nobody cares. Fans, just start getting Medusa stuff back out there.
Yeah, we went and saw, we went and saw the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Matt went and saw that. Obviously, Matt went and saw that.
Uh-huh.
If we know nothing else about Matt, we know that he went to see the theater releases of any Godzilla movie, right?
Well, honestly, I think if I didn't have friends to go with, I probably would have skipped it because Toho can't be bothered to give us decent transfers or subtitles.
Okay, I was worried that was that because we went to a shitty theater in Iowa?
No,
I thought, okay. Okay, I'm glad. Glad it wasn't just me.
Because that would require time and energy and money that they don't want to spend. And, so it's like a second generation DVD transfer and like partially complete or sometimes just completely inaccurate subtitles.
Rife with typos as well. Oh my gosh.
And it's because, again, it's spending as little money as possible. And I say this as somebody who works with Toho on the reg. It's just, they're just weird about it because they don't like spending money. And I mean,
I don't like spending money either.
Yeah.
You're not special, Toho. Come on.
But I mean, it's still fun to see in a theater, especially seeing it with people that I know haven't seen it yet. So
yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad that. And we should probably save this chat for Monday because that's what we'll be talking about on Monday is the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, because there's also a Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and I kept mixing up which one we were gonna go see.
There's a Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, there's a Terror of Mechagodzilla, then there's a Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, aka Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, aka Godzilla versus Super Mechagodzilla, and then there's Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, aka Godzilla X Mechagodzilla, aka Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. And then
Godzilla versus Godzilla.
Shrimp with corn and shrimp with beans. That's about all.
It's infuriating.
Kind of shrimp there are out there.
That's about all there is.
Yeah. I will say, I had my first experience with meeting Matt Frank fans in the wild yesterday. That was weird. It was really weird. I've met you. I haven't we've not met in person, but we talk kind of a lot now. And
Yeah.
so I'm just like, yeah, Matt's a friend of mine. And you're just you're just a regular guy too. Like, you're just a big nerd like we all are.
Sure.
And then there's people like, oh my God, you've met Matt Frank. And I was like, yeah, I know him. I work with him and like we're buddies. And he's like, wait, what? You know him?
That's weird.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay, guys. He puts his pants, I think he puts his pants on one leg at a time. I don't. I avoid pants at all measures, so I don't put pants on one leg at a time, but literally wearing the clothes that I wore to the movie yesterday because that was what was on top of the pile. I'm not getting out clean clothes for life. But yeah, that was interesting. I'll tell you more about it on Monday. It was fun and all good things, like all good things. But yeah, it was a little bit surreal because I did not actually know you as a, sort of famous person. Like, you're really well known, and I did not know or appreciate that when I first met you. I learned that after the fact. So I was just like, oh yeah, he's an artist he does comic books, and that's what we're doing. We're making comic books together. And then all of a sudden, I've since learned that you kind of have a fan following, and now I've met my very first, like I said, my very first Matt Frank fan out in the wild, and I was like, wow, it's so weird because yeah, you're just a friend of mine to me. I'm like, I didn't know you as a famous person first, and then as you, I met you and just assumed you were a regular person like we are, and then learned. So yeah, it was very interesting.
It's so funny because there's so many people they're so sweet and they're so like, but then they'll tell me things that make me, not that I don't appreciate it, but it just makes me feel weird to hear. Like, I found out why I have a following specifically, and it's because it has nothing to do with the quality of my work. That's immaterial. It's because in the span of time between like 2005 and 2014, there was like no major Godzilla content. There were no movies. There was like one or two video games, and then the comics didn't start until 2011. But in that span of time, I was one of the only people on like DeviantArt stubbornly refusing to do anything but Godzilla fan art. And I also like built a whole like fan like universe, like a fan art fan fiction universe, and was like rewriting the movies all into one big continuity. It was just a thing to do for fun. And people were like, no, but that was my introduction to Godzilla, or that was the closest thing I had to regular Godzilla content at the time. And I'm like, oh, that explains that. Like, that explains why I have a following. Because it was good timing and hyperfixations. But no, that really went out and you had a good time. I'm glad that my fans didn't terrify you, and that because I jumped. So funny quick story. I jumped in on the Godzilla live stream yesterday because they were doing the Godzilla's birthday, or the day before. They were doing the Godzilla birthday live stream in Japan. And I jumped in at a certain point to the chat and was just like, I think it was, they were doing a tribute to one of the actors who had passed away. And I was just like, oh man, he was such a cool guy. I was really lucky I got to meet him and stuff. And a couple of people were like, oh, Matt Frank, hey, Matt Frank, welcome to the chat. And I'm like, oh, hey guys, just like, hi guys, just, I've been here. And I remember this one person started spamming in the comments and started like calling me a groomer and a pedophile. And I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? And then I thought, oh, it's because I'm an LGBTQ ally. It's because because I've been very vocal about that. And that's their favorite thing right now. So,
apparently all of us in stream today are groomers then, because I'm pretty sure we all feel the same way as you do.
Well,
I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I know I do, so I guess I'm a groomer too.
Maybe
we're into a whole weird area here.
How do you make that fucking jump though? Seriously, how do you make that jump? Jesus Christ.
If you hate someone, well, what it is it tends to be, it's like, it's okay just to not like someone or not like their art or not like them as a person, and it doesn't have to be a moral thing. You can just not like someone. But no, I was just like, whatever. I've been literally called worse, so I just blocked that person. I was just like, whatever. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
And but I did think it was kind of funny that it's like, man, you really like are that much of a hair trigger on something. But
whatever makes them happy, I guess. I mean, I don't really see the point of insulting other people, but I mean, technically it's not physically harming you. You're able to ignore it, so I guess. People are fucking weird.
People have too much time on their hands.
So, Katie,
Mm-hmm.
I did want, this is a huge, like a super hard right back into the topic here. To ask you about you. This is 100% my failure to make my brain connect the dots between the fact Katie's coloring Medusa and we should invite Katie to the live stream Kickstarter party. It's the same thing that I was just saying about you, Matt. Like, Katie's my friend, first and foremost. It's just like, I talk to Katie as my friend, not as a business partner, not as an artist, as my friend. We met years ago. And
When I was at uni?
we were both at university.
Yeah, so
I
that
was
was
at
the-
technical college, you were at uni, and we met, and it had nothing to do with art. Nothing to do with art. It was about toys. Well, I guess it was kind of about art, because both of us, it was My Little Ponies. I don't know why I'm jumping around that. It was My Little Ponies, and I've said it before, so, why am I trying to jump around that little topic there? But, we both...
I mean, I
joined
just went into a brief stint of, customizing them.
Yes, exactly why I got into it. Same thing.
Cute.
And then there was a chat room, and that's how we ended up talking. And and that's what happened. So I didn't know Katie was an artist for probably at least a year. I didn't know she did art stuff because we just talked in the chat room. We didn't talk about. We talked about the weirdest shit, but never about what we do. So that's and then
you got me into the comics stuff. So
yeah, I feel like sometimes I feel like I may have dragged you kicking and screaming into comic stuff, but you seem to be doing well. I mean, holding your own here. Everybody likes
it was
your
kind
stuff.
of like you were basically like, oh, well, here's some pages to try coloring out. So I did a single page, and then you're like, oh, but well, we'll just see if she likes you. And then I got chosen. I was like, wait, what? This is a job, and a job interview. So
Yeah, I was in all of our defenses. I didn't know that. I was like, here's these pages. You can color them. Just don't show them to anybody except us. And I didn't know that it was a job interview either, because I was when you sent it back to me, and I was like, yes, this is great. And I showed it to Lori, and then Lori was the one. So it's Lori's fault. She's the one who showed it to the artist and and the artist was like, yes, this is great. So
blame the person who's not here.
Yeah, well, I mean, she can't defend herself right now, so it's the perfect time to do that, right?
Defend herself.
You're the one that sent me them, though. So.
But yeah, and that was just I did a stupid when I forgot to invite you onto the stream, and so now I'm like, well, at least we can invite her to this last minute stream here, and all future Medusa streams, because you have worked on the book now, so. I mean, and you've been doing a great job on the art, on the coloring still. So, and not blind yet.
Not blind, even though there was 109 cage bars on the last page that I did.
No spoilies.
No.
I love that you counted them all.
I actually don't know if that's an exaggeration or if that's the actual count.
Well, that says how many I counted before I lost count. So, I was like, yeah, this is why they gave me this page.
That's fantastic. Oh man, yeah, that has to be very, I guess, not exactly with the fact that these things are taking place in a circus, like some of the scenes are when they're actually, if you've seen the first issue, yeah, some of the scenes they're actually at the show. Some of the stuff is behind the scenes or not during a show. Like it's the lives of the characters, whether or not they're in a show. And so sometimes you got 1,000 fucking light sources coming at the thing that you're supposed to be coloring, which is what makes that difficult. I know that's because like Paul, because Lori had recommended. I think I said this before. Lori had recommended me to help coloring, and Paul's like, "Oh, how are you with lights?" And I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna nope the fuck out of here. Katie's the one you want, not me." Like
it was a lot of fun, though, wasn't it? But yeah,
source is my max, okay?
It was fun, and I like seeing all the little.
And I've always said. Yeah, I've always said, Katie, you do amazing things with light. So but there's points where even somebody who's really good with light ends up getting frustrated, cross-eyed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's not frustrating.
Not frustrated is tedious, right? That was just that was very. You had to be very careful about your stuff.
This took a long time. It's like a lot of thinking and stuff. It was still quite a lot of fun, but it's. I'm drawing here at the moment, but it's sundering stuff, so I don't know if I can show it.
Very secret until the boss lady says we can show it.
Well, she's let me put it to my Facebook page, but
then it's probably fine. But
yeah,
I don't know. The sketch that you showed us earlier, that one we can show whenever.
Oh right, yeah. So what was I watching the other day? I was watching you guys talking about something to do with Miss Medusa, and I just did a sketch. I haven't got around to doing the clothes yet, so but I kind of just did that as a quick sketch whilst I was listening to Matt talking about fan art. So I was like, yeah, I'll finish this at some point and probably give her clothes maybe. But
did you draw that on the back of a book, of a novel?
It's a Sudoku book.
Oh
yeah.
This is the only piece of paper I could find because, I'm downstairs and all my stuff's upstairs. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't want to wake up my parents going to actually get paper, so I just drew it in the back of a Sudoku book. But I will do something with it at some point. It's just, we've got masses of stuff to do for the sundering before it gets to print. So I'm trying to get stuff done for that so far.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've been, at this point have done relatively little for the sundering. Like, compared to you guys, I haven't done anything, really. But,
I decided to go, to ridiculous, unneeded levels of detail for this dragon. Okay, I'll show this bit because it's not really a spoiler, but, yeah,
right,
that's
get you back in the big
scale levels.
Wow.
Sorry,
yeah. Yeah, and if we go to Katie's Facebook page and actually look at the actual image, way more detail than I can even see on the webcam. It's crazy.
I don't know why I decided to do all of the scales individually, but that's just me. But it's possibly going to be it's bigger than I'd usually work, so we're sort of discussing what we can actually use it for at the moment. So it's quite a big file size, this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame that we can't make it, like a 40-foot billboard or something, because the detail is so cool in there, and you put so much of it in there, and then you lose it when we make it the size of the book that it goes into.
Yeah, I was discussing with Laurie about if we could make it into a standee, but I don't think it would be able to do it on the tail, because the tail's the thing that's hanging down, so it'd have been quite cool as a standee, but, I just don't think, unless I actually draw something around the tail, I don't think it's going to be strong enough, so we'll see.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, it's an idea for the future to do.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not this piece of art in the end, but something as a standee. And
have
a lot of art to choose from for standee stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine if you did the rest of the, I forget Damien's character's name, but did the rest of his character, the bottom half of him, and then made that a standee.
Yeah, that would be good.
I can imagine who would be buying one of those, and and I don't want to know what they're gonna do with them. Oh, Mike Dolan says unnecessary levels of ridiculous detail are an Unlikely Hero Studios tradition, and ain't that the damn truth? Oh my God, Zach. Zach was insane with his details. I loved every damn time. This was even before I was officially in Unlikely Hero Studios, and Lori was just starting to ink for them, and she said she would like cuss Zach out because he's like, why does he have to put so much detail into it? This is gonna take me 16 hours for each panel, and I'm like, yeah. But the results were so amazing that she always persevered, and it's crazy.
I mean, talking about detail, the amount of detail in the Miss Medusa pages is absolutely incredible. I mean, like, even when you're looking at the line art, it's just amazing.
Yeah. That was Paul. Okay, so I may have while we were at the Godzilla thing last night, we were talking to all the other Godzilla nerds, and obviously Miss Medusa came up, and I was like, you should go and look it up and check. And if you're a fan of Matt, then I can guarantee if you aren't a fan of Paul, you're gonna be. And like if you like his work, you're gonna like Paul's work. You're gonna like this book. And I went, and he's like looking at he's scrolling through it, and whoa, these are really good. And I was like, yeah, the whole book is like that. And that's one of the things that's like Mike said, like Mike Dolan said there. One of the things that you can guarantee, or piggybacking off what he said, every single page is going to be as good as the cover. It's not like a Big Two situation where the cover is great and the interior suck, and sometimes the covers aren't that good either. So
I was going to say, like, the Medusa really is like one of the best looking books I've ever been involved in, because so often, like, some aspect gets some aspect of a book, there's always going to be things that you're going to look back on when it comes to a book you work on and be like, oh, we could have done this differently, we could have done that differently. But like, I think Medusa, there's just something about this book that just, again, the sheer volume of work being put in on it is really is consistently impressive, and it really makes me never want to do a monthly book again or a rushed book again, because I just had to do another book for my Japanese publisher for Spectre Man, and I mean, Laurie came. I keep say this on every live stream. Laurie came in clutch and like really kicked ass on the inks for me, and as a result, the book has a really fun and unique look to it. But it is one of those things where it's like we still had to get it done really fast, and I'm just not about that anymore. So, I'm kind of done with all these little nickel and dime jobs and stuff. I want more time on fewer projects, and not to mention just so I can push stuff, just so I can, stuff just doesn't get swallowed up by the algorithm. I can just, promote stuff and everything. But anyway, my point is that the book is looking amazing. It's coming out really lovely.
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah. Everything's playing off of each other really well, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, we're getting to scenes I wrote, a few years ago now. And it's nice to consistently be like, we didn't blow it.
Yeah.
We're finally up to...
Oh,
go ahead.
Everybody started talking at once there. I was going to ask, obviously we don't want to do any spoilers on here, but as far as, I don't know if anybody has asked in a live stream yet, but like, as far as the future of Miss Medusa, we're going to keep publishing them as long as y'all keep buying them. But, like, specifically in terms of creating the next issue, what do you have any, like, general plans for it, Paul or Matt?
I actually wrote down a list of teasers. things we can say about issue 3.
Okay, good.
we're probably going to get that far at this point. So,
I should think that's all but a guarantee.
So I can tease this. One, we're going to meet Mother Goose.
Yeah.
We're going to see this world's version of Mother Goose. It's actually it's the very first scene of the next issue.
Nice.
Or as the people in the show just call her Mother. So we'll get to meet her.
Oh my God.
There's a spoof of the film. It's brief, but there's a fleeting spoof of the film Nightmare Alley. Less the Guillermo del Toro one and more the 1947 one. But we've got a little homage to that. We get to meet Diane Oda, who's one of our favorite characters, and she's talked about quite a bit in the second issue. But issue 3, we finally get to meet her.
That'd be cool.
Great.
We get to see the cookhouse.
God.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm kind of dreading drawing that. We've designed it. We have the CGI model, but yeah, that's gonna be a detail nightmare. I'm not looking forward to it.
We're looking at you, Katie.
I'm just thinking. Is it
Let's torture Katie some more. Yeah.
That's probably going to be one I'm going to have to draw. At least the main shots of, because it's a new location. It's the one.
I'm talking about coloring and stuff. Like I mean, you color a lot of it. I don't know how you guys divvied up the coloring, so I just know that it was divvied. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
That one will probably even though I definitely threw a grenade at Katie with that, with the bull tent scene. But the main reason is it's self-contained and there's no composite shots where we're putting my work and Matt's work together. There's no Well, actually, I take that. There's a little bit, but not much. It was a relatively simple scene. For someone else to do, without having to explain a lot of stuff. The cookhouse scene is probably going to be really complicated.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the hard scene for the next issue because it's a lot of characters. We get to see what lunchtime looks like at the show, and we'll get to meet the people who work in the cookhouse. And what else should I probably shouldn't say too much else about that scene. Here's another teaser. We're going to start spending a little bit of time in the world beyond the show lot. Oh. There's going to be a plot line for several issues that takes us away from the lot with a few characters. But which world? I'm just saying a world beyond the lot. Let's say that.
The DMV, that's where it is, isn't it?
I will say the DMV would be a cheerful experience compared to where we're going.
I think I know. Okay.
And there might be I'm reading the literal note I wrote down. There might be a fucking nightmarish giant beast lurking there. Matt knows the thing I'm talking about.
Oh, it's gonna be so horrible.
It's funny. I know just enough about the future stuff that I am just super fucking confused right now. I know exactly enough to you just confuse the shit out of me.
Yeah. And the next issue teaser I can give is we'll meet a Norse god.
But which one?
Ooh. Which one?
Which one? I mean, is it going to be Natalie Portman? No, she's not Norse. She's not Norse. My bad.
It's Beta Ray Bill. No, it's not.
That's going to be fun.
It's one I had to do a deep dive of research on, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's so funny because as Paul is describing these teasers and stuff, I'm having these Pavlovian flashbacks, and I talked about this on the last live stream. I'm having these Pavlovian flashbacks to like being at his house and him describing this shit to me, and I'm just seeing it in my head, and then us kind of going back and forth and me like ripping out a quick sketch. And it's one of those things that makes me really wish I was medicated back when we were originally working on this, because I felt like I probably would have been more productive while we were in our meetings. Because like I was so like just like I wasn't even physically looking at you, Paul. I was like middle distancing it for most of the time while you were talking, because I'm just seeing this in my head. Boldar, Viking god of bowling.
Bolnir, I love it.
That's pretty good.
Is it Bjolnir? I don't know how to say that. Bjolnir. That's a tongue twister right there.
Bjolnir.
Write that one down.
I've also got a list of 10 reasons to buy number 2.
Ooh.
Ooh,
You still
nice.
got a few minutes. Now's like we
Yeah,
got 15 minutes to go.
minutes.
This is the perfect time to tell everybody.
Time to read them. Okay. 1, we're going to have Stavros the Cretan in this one, who you've seen a little bit of in issue 1, briefly. He fell through Belinda the Wasp Woman's roof. He's the head animal trainer and handler for the show, and you might get the impression by the scars and the broken horn that maybe he's not very good at it. So yeah, got Stavros. We're big fans of Stavros, and apparently we will have his magnet now as part of the merch.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely have.
I got to color a few panels with him in, and I'm quite a big fan of him as well. So.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I think because of there's some miscommunication that I think that our final stretch goal here didn't get posted, so I'm just gonna upload it here and show everybody on the stream.
Yeah, it's the holofoil cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, come on.
Which we probably won't hit, but hey, why not? Put it up.
We could. Yeah. It could happen.
Good.
Got 13 minutes.
We're not that far away.
I'm posting it around. I'm getting it out there. Let's see. Gotta make a comment on this one. I'm doing all the things. Which is, by the way, Sarah, which is better to share, the Twitch stream post or the YouTube channel?
You know, I guess YouTube, because it's more ubiquitous. I've gotten a surprising number of people going, "What's Twitch?" I thought Twitch was pretty well known by now, but there's a lot of people that don't know Twitch. So I guess YouTube, just so that because like everybody seems to know what YouTube is now.
Right.
Oh, and another thing, and let me upload this here quick. And another thing is, this print you have to back physical on. Okay, I am not going to remember all of them. You have to back Reina, you have to back the game, you have to back Medusa, and you have to back. God, what's the other one?
The game. The something of something.
Well, I actually think it might be down here somewhere. Let's look at the actual.
It sounds like a Lord of the Rings name, but I can't remember. Yes. Sons of the Steel Door.
There it is. Heirs of Isildur. I can't, and I even was there, and I asked him how to pronounce it, and I forgot anyway.
It's a Isildur from like a Lord of the Rings style name, yeah.
Yeah. So we have to back all of those at a physical level, and then you also get that really cool print that I just showed, and then stretch goal, final stretch goal that we didn't get to post, but like you're gonna get the hollow foil, and obviously is. Like that's just a mock-up, just so that you can see that it's not the regular cover, because there's no way to make a mock-up of a holofoil that doesn't look way shittier than the actual holofoil is going to be. Like
it's like trying to show someone 4K TV on a
exactly like that. So, did you have more reasons why you should buy number 2?
I do.
Awesome.
Okay. There is a character named Honey. Or is she named that?
Oh
But there's
my
a
god.
character that people call Honey. I don't really know. I shouldn't have put her on the list because we can't really say much about her.
I will say real quick that Honey is one of my favorite aspects, one of my favorite characters / subplots of this first arc.
Yeah.
And that was fun to color.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's your scene. That's the one you got to handle was Honey's intro.
Yeah.
Very
And
cool.
I'll tell people in advance. Honey arrives in a crate.
Yeah.
For this story. Look at the labels on the crate, which Lori made actually, because Lori made that whole scene, and really she did the finishes on that scene. You know, she took my screen caps of the CGI model I built and really finished it out. But there's some fun references on those stickers that kind of that trace the journey of where she came from.
It's very fun.
Yeah. There's some crossover humor there. Let's see. Also, for the scene Katie worked on, there's a character named Ernesto Zachariah Money, or Easy Money. Who is one of my favorite human dirtbags that I've ever written.
He's fun to draw too.
That would be a really good name for a pet cat, wouldn't it?
Money. I like that.
Yeah, and he spells it's spelled like money, like Bill Money from Unforgiven, not like Eddie Money from the 80s. Let's see. The Piece de la Resistance. Lori could get that pronunciation right. She's Canadian. Is Fairy Vengeance.
Piece de Resistance.
Yes, we have Fairy Vengeance in this issue.
Vengeance?
Yeah.
Oops. Jesus.
Mainly expressed through the vessel of Jenny Grinteeth, who really gets to step into her role as I think it's I don't like to get judgy, but I think it's fair to say she's an antagonist in this storyline. She's an agent of chaos.
She's what I would call, from Gina's perspective, a professional pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I love her just based on her design alone. Like I like the art of Jenny, and so for that reason, I don't even care how big of an asshole she is.
Yeah.
And
did you see we got a couple extra backers? I just noticed we got 466 now. Cool.
I've been sharing it out, being like, who's gonna get us to 12K? We'll see.
I wish we had more shit to give away. Like, I think that we're maxed out now. Like, I mean, holofoil, if we get like 500, 600, 700-ish more dollars. But yeah, like other stuff. I don't have any more. We're out. And I just always beating my brains out trying to think of the next cool, creative idea for a backer reward. Because we have a lot of fun with the stuff that we already give out, but I'm always like, but wait, there's got to be something that's cooler than metal prints and hollow stickers and hollow covers. Like, I'm always thinking about that stuff. And so far, like the Standy idea that Lori and I were working on, that it started out as a joke, if I'm honest, and then it turned into Standys, which we were just bullshitting, but it turned out to be really fun, and everybody loves them. And oh my god, if you just had the space to put them in your house, you could do it, right? But yeah, it'd be super cool if we had more stuff, because we all love giving stuff away to you guys, and if we had more money, we'd be giving away free stuff all the time. That's a fair assumption, right?
Oh yeah, like I had a reason, unless Paul, you had more reasons for people to buy.
I do.
What?
But Matt, what were you going to say?
Well, all I was going to say was, like, I had a reason for people to buy issue 2.
Yeah.
making comics is really hard and takes a lot of time for a very relatively small group of people.
Yeah.
And you guys, you should buy indie comics or you should just, especially because this is stuff that goes directly to the creators and the very small group of people supporting them and keeping, getting their stuff out there. And the sheer volume of work that goes into something like this is not, you really don't see that in a lot of other mainstream comics, especially because that stuff has to be monthly. And even if a monthly book does look as good as this or close to as good or has that amount of detail in it, it's probably because those people are not, the people involved are probably not being paid, or there's like a lot of people being paid very little. My point is that this is a rare sort of project. We got 5 minutes to go, but this is a rare sort of project, and to see this amount of work be put into it, the people involved should be supported. Everyone should be supported. So that's, I think, a huge reason to support indie comics.
I'll add something on the back of that. If people want the series to happen faster, and if they want more Medusa stories, back us hard.
Yeah.
We might even have a bit of a secret agenda with this one. There might be kind of a secret stretch goal where we're kind of watching the dollar amounts and saying, can we do something really cool we haven't talked about at all?
There you go.
Yeah. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But been watching this one kind of nervously. I'd like to hit a certain dollar amount, and then maybe we can do something really cool that we don't even want to put on the table until we know we can do it.
Yeah.
Is it Sideshow Edition standees?
Yeah, I mean, I bet you if we offered that, but for very specific characters, we would probably do upsettingly well.
Hey, if we, not to spoil anything, but I've talked with Lori about what some of our backer rewards for Unthinkables 2 might be.
God.
We might get there, folks.
Let's see. Well, we got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just watching it now going, pretty soon it's going to start counting seconds instead of minutes.
Well, the other frustrating thing, and this is, of course, for people to just log away in their brains, is that it sucks fighting the algorithm. It absolutely sucks. It's like normally stuff that I post that is Godzilla adjacent or Kaiju adjacent tends to get pretty good numbers. But when certain things don't get traction at all, you start to wonder, okay, is this because my audience isn't grokking with this, or is this because it's being suppressed? Because there's a wrong combination of words in there, which is infuriating. So,
to be honest, I think it's both. And let's give great credit to the people who do back it, that they're willing to try new things and support new stuff and not just follow, these aging franchises sitting on some corporation's shelf to be traded like players to the Yankees.
I like that.
We gotta figure out some way to shoehorn a Godzilla-like. Are there any Godzilla-like? I know there are mythical creatures. That's what we gotta do.
This is the reason I had on the thing here for Matt Frank people. For the last 2 minutes here, we have a whole fucking tent full of giant monsters in this issue.
Yeah,
it can be. We're at the 96-second mark.
There it went. Yep, it started.
And I'll put another one on the table for Matt's audience. Talus is in this. Not the version that people have seen exactly in Jason and the Argonauts that Ray Harryhausen did, but our spin on Talus.
it's so tricky to see what the kaiju fandom will actually respond to, because like a lot of fandoms these days, it's so brand centric. Like, because there are Godzilla fans who only care about Godzilla and they don't care about anything else. It's even tangentially kaiju adjacent. But again, this is one of the reasons why I love working with Unlikely Heroes. Not beside the fact that them's good people, but also the fact that y'all have an audience who knows you and trusts you. So it's not entirely on me to drag my kaiju audience literally kicking and screaming over to something that's like, that doesn't have a lizard. It's a snake. I don't like snakes.
There's going to be quite a giant monster fight at the end of this arc.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
All right. Oh, it's turned red now. Okay, we're in 10 seconds.
Are we gonna get a magical $500?
We got one more person. We got one more person. 5, 4, 3,
Do it.
2, 1.
And
Fireworks.
It's over, Johnny.
$11,766 and 467 backers. You guys rock, and we did it. I mean, we got almost to fourth stretch goal. That was fourth stretch goal, wasn't it? I don't remember. We got almost to the hollow foil covered, and it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. That mock-up of the holofoil is all you're ever gonna get, guys.
Sorry, and you know what? I made that, so you know it ain't that good. So, and thank you, Matt Knowles. Congrats, team. What a way to smash the last 48 hours. A couple of grand at the end. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. I know. I couldn't believe watching it tick up so fast right at the end there. It's like, do you remember back when eBay first was the thing? That was how you got your cool stuff. I mean, it still is, but like now there's other avenues. But like there was a time when eBay was it. And that last second nail chewing and worrying about sniping and
I definitely got some Godzilla toys that way, where I am just like sitting with my hand on the refresh button or on the bid more button back before they had the auto bid system. And I'm like, I need this Trendmasters Megalon from 1995 that never made it to Toys R Us.
Oh man,
guys, but thank you, everybody. Thanks for backing us, and see you when issue 2 comes out.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So like the timeline stuff, like you guys are all gonna hear about all the the next steps, just like you always do, and we're gonna keep you posted at every step. And for the people who, the backer kit's weird. I'm not sure how it works, but like the point is that if you missed out on stuff, you still might be able to jump in there with backer kit stuff, and like you can change your bid to, still back now. Like we still like it when you back during, but backer kit makes it a little bit easier for people who missed out. So like you can still go in and grab extras, and if you missed out when you were back with your initial pledge, and now you're gonna get your what is that receipt thinger that comes when you back a successful project, and you get to go through all that fun stuff.
Just to placate as a thank you to the Godzilla fans who came for this live stream, I will to thank you guys. I will show you the Gigan I was just drawing.
Ooh, let me put you big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that one.
I love him. He is a special boy. Yeah. So fun times. I'm taking this with me to Tokyo because I can't sell prints. I can't sell prints to Tokyo Comic-Con. The Japanese are weird about licenses, so I can't go sell fan art prints over there. But I can make a crap load of prefab sketches. Yeah. Well,
that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did Paul bounce?
Yeah, his internet was being uncooperative as per the usual.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of these days we just gotta buy him a cup of internet before a stream. We just gotta loan him a cup of internet.
I have a similar problem. The internet's actually really good at my house, but in the specific room I'm in, the internet's not great. I'm too far away from the internet well or the internet spring. But
That's fair.
since my picture is bigger now, I just think this would be fun. I want to show some of the action figures I have on my desk.
Oh, now's the time.
I have my Elvira from Nika that I used as a reference for my Elvira drawing I did for Halloween. You see the
Very
boob?
cool. Yeah.
And it's like, she can dance. I've got her. I've got my Gigan. I just showed my Gigan. I've got, this is fun. I have my Chun-Li Power Rangers crossover, my Street Fighter Power Ranger figure.
Huh. I didn't know that existed. Cool.
Yeah, like several Street Fighter characters are getting Power Rangers figures because anyone can be a Power Ranger in the Power Rangers universe, and if you get a morpher and are chosen by the morphing grid, you can become a ranger. You just got to be fit, I guess. And then I've got crap. Hold on. And then I've got my Mutos from Godzilla 2014 that just came in the mail. They're horrible. Look at them. They're horrifying. And I almost took this with me to the movie yesterday. It's my Mechagodzilla popcorn bucket.
Oh my god. That's so... Oh.
And it's in the Evangelion colors. It's the Evangelion Godzilla crossover popcorn bucket from Universal Studios Osaka.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I got
That's
nerd
so
shit.
Cool.
And I think that's everything within reach.
Well, make sure that, like Monday's going to be Matt's Monster Movie Mondays, so, have all of them in reach there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got a whole...
Lori and I have been discussing our, because, we usually do costume stuff these days, and so we've been discussing what we can do there, and that'll be fun. And, Katie's been quietly sketching, but... I don't know, if you got Hulu and you can watch the movie, I suppose you can come talk about it too. I have lots of things to say. I have so much to say about this movie.
Yeah.
Including a point like...
What?
Speaking of kaiju, we need to finish the Mothra thing.
Yeah, we could do... it'd only take a few more minutes, right? Because it was basically done. We just needed to assemble it. So we could probably get that done, and then we can release it to the wild for everybody to actually purchase. Because that was like 2 Matt's Monster Mondays ago or something. We got to finish that. That was it was really cool, and we were gonna leave it the way it was, but then Matt made a suggestion. We're like, oh yeah, that's perfect. We need to do that. So that's how it stalled. But and it stalled then because then a little sundering happened. Basically, that's what happened.
Well, yeah. Well, definitely. So the movie, I originally was not planning on having this Godzilla movie, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, as part of Matt's Monster Movie Mondays, because while I like the movie, it's fun, it's also kind of a mid-tier Godzilla movie, and I was just like, I would rather focus on the extreme ends of the spectrum of the really good stuff, and then the really weird stuff that like stuff like Howl from Beyond the Fog that doesn't get as much attention. Right. And Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, again, it's a fun movie. It's perfectly entertaining, but it's also, kind of there's some not great stuff in it too. But I'm kind of glad we did it because the movie that's a follow-up to this one has Mothra in it, and it is the best Mothra ever put to screen. She's entirely practical except for a couple of CGI shots, and she looks fantastic, and the prop is just huge, and she's got these little moving arms, and she has the little bits all moving, and it's beautiful. So now we have an excuse to watch another Mothra-centric Godzilla movie. And I know,
excited for another Mothra movie. I love Mothra so much.
We get some real great moments in this next one. It's Godzilla Tokyo SOS is the next one, but we still gotta watch Invasion of Astro Monster. That's next on the docket, and then we gotta switch gears. We gotta do something that's not Godzilla. So maybe we'll do a Gamera or something.
Yeah, have we met Gamera in?
We've not met
yet?
Gamera yet.
And Gamera's the one that looks like a turtle, kind of, right?
He's a giant flying turtle. He's the friend of all children and the guardian of the universe.
Oh, I think that Gamera's the only one who might be able to dethrone Mothra as my favorite, because I love turtles so much.
Gamera gets some really good moments in like his original films are fun, but also very cheesy and very goofy. In like we have our Japanese child actors with their short pants running around and screaming about Gamera, and that can get a little tiresome. But the 90s Gamera films are like peak kaiju, like they're so good. And then there's like the last Gamera movie was in the early 2000s, and it's like an E.T. meets Stand By Me, like really emotional coming of age story that just happens to have a giant turtle in it. So like it's about like the main character is a little kid working through his trauma with losing his mom and his estranged relationship with his father. So he puts all of his emotional energy into raising this little baby turtle that just happens to start getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I love Gamera so much.
I'm excited for Mothra, but I'm excited for some Gamera too. Like I want to meet Gamera, and I made it a point to not watch any Godzilla or kaiju stuff unless if it comes up and I want to watch it, I gotta clear it with you first so that I don't like I don't want to soil the whole journey we've been going on by watching something I shouldn't have. The only one that unauthorized one that I watched, was the 98 Godzilla. So
unauthorized. That makes me sad.
that was because I like that one. I don't love it as a movie, but I like it, and that was what got this whole thing started. So I'm not sorry that I watched it.
We're good.
I think I watched one of the ones. I seem to remember it looked kind of like a great big what do you call them? Iguana thing? It seemed to be coming out when I was a teenager, so it was quite a while.
Well, it was clear that like Jurassic Park had come out, and the filmmakers were like, well, we have to make Godzilla look more like a raptor or a T-Rex or something. And it's do that. We're gonna watch it. Like it's on the docket. I personally feel like as a fandom though, we need to move on from it because people still talk about that movie like it came out, it kicked in their door and killed their whole family. And it is not great, but there is some merit to it, and it is a lot of people's like first introduction to this genre. And I think that we need to be okay with that. Like we need to be like, okay, let's recognize that it is a movie and it's not like unwatchably terrible or super racist or anything. It's like it's not like
it's different.
I mean, it's a 90s disaster movie from the guys who made Independence Day. Like
it's a very 90s movie. Oh my god, in that respect, very 90s.
It's watchable. It's not like it just goes on too long. And anyway, we're not. We'll save that.
Save it for later. And we got to get going anyway because 5 Star Fridays is coming up here, and we got to get off of here before they are ready to go, and they are ready to go in like 14 minutes now. So we got to get the hell off and let them come.
Sarah.
What's that?
Can I just show the wing flaps that I'm painting at the moment? So
yes, have at
hang on a second.
Show it. Wow.
And then all of the veins.
Look at those skin folds.
I love it.
Oh, it just zoomed in on you. I don't know.
Oh, damn it! It's got a zooming thing on it. Hang on a sec.
Damn tablet.
Yeah, so I've been doing all the veins and everything. I've been putting bat wings, so
nice. That's pretty cool. Well, yeah, so that's another little sundering sneak peek for everybody. Rich and Tony are talking about Kickstarter extravaganza, they called it. And I know I saw 5-star, and I know I saw Green Zone. I saw Virgil from Green Zone on their promo page, or picture. So, you guys should stay and watch that too. So stay on Agents of Geekdom and watch that, and then you get a digital cookie, I guess. I don't know. But then come back on Monday and watch us continue to nerd out about big monsters, and it'll be fun. Yeah. So. Alrighty then. With that being said, thank you so much for coming and joining us for the last hour of Miss Medusa's Monstrous Menagerie Kickstarter. And did you hear me say that? Holy shit! I just said that and I didn't fuck it up. It just I ruined it with my excited reaction, but I just said it. All right. Yes. Thank you for joining us for that. Thank you for backing. Thank you for your likes and shares. Oh, Mr. Fish is here, and he says yes, you should stay and watch 5-Star Fridays. And we're gonna turn it over to you now, Fish, and yeah, we'll get the hell out of your way. And everybody, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your week, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.